Hey, and welcome back to the channel. What you just heard there was this Harley Benton SC Custom 2 through the Boss Katana Artist Mark II. I really hope you enjoyed it. And today we're going to do the sound test on this little beauty as well. As always, as much as you've heard it through the Boss Katana, we're going to do the usual, level the playing field and hear this guitar through the Pocket Pod. Coming right up. As always, we level the playing field by playing all guitars on this channel through the Pocket Pod. And what's more, today I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown of how this feels to play, what I like about it and what I don't like about it, all coming up. Now, before we start today, I just want to say it really can't hurt to subscribe if you haven't been here before, and that would really help the channel and I would greatly appreciate it. So if you can take a moment to do that, thank you. And if you do, don't forget to click the bell icon and then you'll be notified every time I make an upload. As always, you're going to hear the clean, the crunch tones, breakup tones, the distorted tones and the lead tones, and I'm going to give you my insight into how I feel that this guitar is to play. So we'll jump right in, but let me remind you that we're not here listening to or judging my playing. I'm trying to be Joe Average, which is what I am. So first up, as always, we're going to start with the clean tones, and what we do first is unaffected clean tones. So I'm going to show you all three positions and include the coil split as well. Let's go and have a listen to that. I think you'll agree these LAF pickups are really nice, especially with the coil split on. So I then pushed the guitar a little bit and added a little bit of chorus and a little bit of delay in order to get that classic 80s type clean tone. This guitar, again, on the coil splits, does that really, really well. That 80s tone comes across really nicely. And I particularly like playing that. Although I chose this week to make it a crunchy track, this really does justify having a bit more of a play around with clean tones. However, I know, as always, you guys like to hear a bit more dirt, so we focused on that today. And so here are the crunch tones on each of the pickup selections. I didn't bother to split the coil on the pickup selections with the crunch tone because I feel that most players probably won't do that. It does sound okay, but nothing like as nice as it does with the clean tones. We went a little bit further, of course, and we dirtied it up and got a little bit distorted. We'll go and have a listen to the distorted tones and how these pickups really do seem to sing out through the distorted tones. Really impressed with the sound of these. That was the distorted tones, but of course we did try out the lead tones on it as well. So a little bit more gain, a little touch of delay and reverb in order to get the lead tones out of this. So there it is, all of the playing. Now, what did I think of this guitar to play? Well, I have to say, it's got a thick, but a really good, fast neck. Let me see if I can show you the thickness of this neck. It's kind of between a 50s and a 60s, but it's probably closer to a 50s neck. So it's nice and chunky, you can get your hand around it, and yet it's still pretty fast. Even though it isn't a satin finish, it is a gloss finish on the back of this guitar and including the neck. However, what I did find is the pickups are really, really nice and responsive, and what's more, the volume pots are also logarithmic, and so pulling back on a breakup tone or a distorted tone does give you that nice sort of coming back to clean tone, almost really satisfying to play. The fingerboard itself, which is Jatoba, is very smooth and very easy to play, although what I did notice is the frets are a little bit scratchy and in places and could do with a polish. One of the things I noticed pretty early on is that I can't use the tone pot on this. Now, I'm not sure if that is an electronic issue, because it does seem to have a small effect, or whether maybe the capacitor is broken in this, but the tone pot was almost unusable. So the other thing that I really liked is the sustain on this. This has got sustain and resonance for years and years and years, and certainly on the lead tones that makes hitting some of those lovely bends and vibratos really a joy to play. And lastly, which was really, really helpful with playability, is the cutaways. The fact that on the back of this guitar you have got this access cutaway and this lovely heel, which makes this guitar really, really easy to play. So what did I dislike about this? Well, I have to say I'm not a fan at all of the volume pots, because this volume pot I would usually dive to as the master volume, and yet this controls the neck pickup on this guitar. I really did not like having the two volume pots. What I would much prefer to see is a tone pot with the push-pull, a volume pot that's a master volume pot, and then a mix pot, because obviously the reason that they have put two volume pots on is so that when you're in the middle position you can mix in just about the right amount of each pickup. However, that could be achieved exactly the same way as it's done on the Harley Benton HB450 by putting this middle pot as a mix pot between the two pickups, and I would really like that. I have to also add this volume pot for the neck, for the bridge pickup, sorry, is scratchy, and I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, the frets feel a bit scratchy as well. The tone control doesn't work. And the last thing I didn't like so much about this guitar is it's pretty heavy. It weighs in at 8 pounds. And while I was standing up recording the demo track, that does tend to get a little bit heavy, but I know that those of you that are big Gibson Les Paul fans will have no issue with that at all, because this is not heavy by single cut standards, but it was just a little heavier than, for example, the SC450 single cut, which I really love. It's very, very similar to this, just that this weighs a little more, and I've no idea why that is, unless it's to do with the fact that this maybe has a maple cap, which is a slightly denser and heavier wood. So what did I like about this guitar? Well, there's lots and lots to like. I love the sound of these LAF pickups, especially in the coil split position. The single coil tones on this, particularly on clean tones and a little bit on crunch as well, were really, really divine. They were inspiring to play. The other thing I really like is the look of this guitar. I think it is an absolutely beautiful, incredible flame top on this. I really like this flame, and moving it in the light there, hopefully you can see that. So that is one thing. I also love the headstock, and I forgot to mention in the unboxing that the headstock is also bound, but the styling on this headstock, the 4 split diamonds, I really like, and it's got the new Harley Benton logo. And then lastly, I really love the cutaways, the access. And yes, a lot of you have said that this is very similar in styling to the ESP single cut style guitar, and I would totally agree. Only the price of this is somewhat less than the ESP LTD guitar unless you pick it up second hand. So all things told, all things being equal, this guitar is a really, really nice instrument, and certainly represents, and understand it's come down from 250 to 215 pounds, which is probably around $250. So shipped to the US, it's going to be around $300. And I honestly don't see how you can get much better value. The minor little things that I didn't like about it are all fixable. Changing out these tone controls, or sorry, these volume controls to put a mix control in the middle may be a little project that I'll do. And certainly the only thing that you can't really change is the weight, and at £8 it's not that heavy. Another thing that I should mention is the fact that this guitar needed no setup whatsoever out of the box, and I'm confident that that isn't because it was a review guitar sent to me. I think that these things are really well set up in the factory. The string tension, it wasn't completely in tune, but it clearly has been tuned, and what's more, the tuning is very stable. And out of the box, I was able to tune this up, check the relief, and the relief is perfect. And also intonation was absolutely spot on. So everything about this guitar, action, relief, intonation, all completely perfect out of the box. And as I say, I don't think this was a guitar that was set up as a review guitar, because otherwise they'd have noticed the issue with the tone pot and the fact that the bridge volume was scratchy. So I'm confident that this wasn't pre-set up for me. There it all is, folks. I really hope that this video has been useful to you. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please don't forget to give it a like and a thumbs up. And as I keep saying, because YouTube aren't doing a lot of promotion of me these days, I really appreciate your subscription, and if you do subscribe, please don't forget to click that bell icon, and then you'll be notified every time I make an upload. I really look forward to your comments in the comment section down below. All the links to this guitar will be in the description as well, and it does help me because I do make a few pennies on this channel by affiliate links. It costs you no more, but if you click on the link down below, if you decide to go for one of these, I do get a little share in that. So really hope that you wouldn't mind doing that for me. Thanks as always for watching. I hope you're having a great week, but for now, on this Tone Tuesday, I'm going to say cheerio, and as always, you take really good care.